I'm Heather from here booktubes, and today are my favorite standalone romance recommendations. Now, a lot of the books that I read are standalone romances in a series of standalone romances, so these ones are not part of a series, at least as far as I know, or currently. My first one is Fake It Till You Break It by Meagan and Brandy. This is a fake dating in high school trope. It's also a little bit of a bully romance. It's a little dark, a little twisted, a little controversial, but also really sweet. Like, I really love the characters. I don't even know how to explain it, but is completely a standalone. I would love if she made more books with some of these side characters. It's a really good book if you like bully romances, high school romances, new adult, or fake dating. Next, I have The Blue Castle by Montgomery. This is the author of Anne of Green Gables. That's what she's most famous for. This was a contemporary in the 1920s, I believe. It's not strictly a romance book, although there's definitely a romance. It's more a story of a 29-year-old finding herself after living according to everyone else's expectations her entire life. I love this book. It has been one of my favorite books for over half my life. I just adore it. If you want to see a woman really just decide what she values and what she thinks is important and act on it over the course of a year with beautiful descriptions of nature and the woods up in Canada, then this is phenomenal. If you do enjoy Ellen Montgomery's writing from her other books, this is my favorite of hers, and I've read just about all of them, if not all of the books she ever wrote. Next, I have Counterfeit Love by Jessica Gadziala. Now, most of Jessica Gadziala's books are interwoven and connected and take place in Navasink Bank. This is also part of that universe, and so if you've already read books of hers, you will recognize and enjoy characters that make cameos or are a part of the story. But this is definitely a book that you could start her universe with because it is a standalone and it is enjoyable all on its own also. Counterfeit Love, we have an amazing heroine who has survived human trafficking and sexual assault and rape. Jessica always does a phenomenal job of handling really, really touchy, awful subjects with respect and decency, and so you're not going to have to read about abuse on the page or anything like that, but is the theme. This is something that the heroine has survived, and because of that she takes down human traffickers. That's kind of what she's devoted her life to, and she needs a counterfeiter. So she blackmails our hero into helping her, even though he probably would have done it without the blackmail. And he is such a cinnamon roll of a character while still like being capable, and I love them so much. This is a great standalone. Next, I have Shiver by Suzanne Wright. This is a contemporary novel by her. Most of her books are paranormal romance, and this is the stepdaughter of a serial killer, and that plays a big role in the book. It's also hate to love with like a boss owner rich dude, and I love it. Next, I have Complicated by Kristen Ashley, and this is a small town hate to love sheriff romance. The sheriff just makes a fool of himself. He makes some assumptions that aren't true, and he's definitely a jerk at the beginning, but you will grow to love him and he will grow to love our main character, and it's sweet once you get past him being a jerk. He's a lovable alpha. This is the only book in the series, only book in the town. I loved it. I love everything Kristen Ashley. So last but not least, I have The Wrong/Right Man by Aurora Reynolds. This is actually like not my favorite because he's so possessive and he like makes so many decisions without consulting her, either because she's his endgame and he's really not going to let her stand in the way of being his endgame, and or he's like trying to keep her from stress. But I'm like, dude, communication, like let's do better. So, and that part is not my favorite because I like possessive, protective, overprotective, over the top. I like all that. And he's still like, it's like, I mean, he could have just asked her. But I've read it twice and I've given it like 5 stars and I really love it. It's a complete standalone. She gets up on a blind date. It's magical, amazing. He's everything she could have ever wanted. She takes him back to her place. They sleep together. She wakes up the next morning to a text asking why she stood up her blind date. That's it. That's all the completely standalone romances that I have for you that were on my favorites list. Almost all romances I feel like are in a series. So if you have complete standalones, they're not connected to anything, let me know. Give me recommendations. I always want more books to read. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.